Uh-oh. Remember?
Oh,
I just hit the bad button, bro.
what was the bad button?
I don't know.
It had to be tilde.
All right, we are gonna go live. Let me shut down that music there, Bob. Okay, Kevin's gonna double check that we are live. Okay, we have the most special guest today. We have Jan. Jan, how do you say your last name, man?
Oh, Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer. Jan Pfeiffer. Yeah. Wow, I was able to do that. I can't pronunciate like my wife is Colombian, speaks Spanish, fluent English. Her English is better than mine, actually. Yeah, Kevin's like, yeah, she is. Names are tough. Names are tough. Jan Pfeiffer. Okay, brilliant. Jan, tell everybody a tiny bit about what you're doing today, man. Like what you're working on and what we're going to be sort of hacking on today.
Okay, so I've been developing GoMLX. It's a machine learning framework for Go. And I think that's the topic of our chat today, and we're going to try something out of it. I hope it works. Been developing it for a couple of years now. I recently left Google, where I've been from, 10, 15 years in applied research doing ML, and it annoyed me to no end that we use Python for ML. And I think every language deserves a good ML framework. It should be like a database connector, every language should have a good database functionality. And Go is not lacking so much now with GoMLX, but otherwise was lacking here. And I love Go from my time from Google, but not only that, I just think it's a very productive language. And so I had this giant itch that I wanted to scratch for more than 10 years in Google, and now I left Google. I'm semi-retired. I still want to go back to work at some point, but there's less pressure now. And then I'm scratching that giant itch.
Well, on behalf of the entire Go community, thank you for working on this, because I don't want to work in Python either anymore when it comes to this stuff. And Ron Evans, I don't know if you know Ron Evans, he's associated with TinyGo. Well, Ron Evans introduced me to this package. He's super excited about it. And Ron also built this project. He hasn't been sleeping for like 2 months. He's built this.
I know, I saw it. I'm very excited about it.
He told me that he's got over 80% of the Llama CPP API mapped at this point. No Seago, man. He's using that FFI package to like bind the API calls. And I've got some of this working. My goal before the end of the year is to write a mini for training material that we're doing. Like a mini Olama using this.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I already got an example chat program working. So now it's a matter of doing like a mini Olama and seeing how much concurrency we can sort of get out of it with this.
And could you just create a plugin in Olama to use this instead? Because Olama is Go already, right? It could have a backend to this.
So what Ron said was because I asked Ron, I said, Ron, why are we still using VLLM? when Olama's also using Llama CPP. And he said, Bill, because of the SIGO bindings that Olama has to use right now, they can't keep up with the latest version of Llama CPP. So they can't keep up with sort of all the features where, you know, you don't have that problem in Python. So what Ron is hoping, and now what I'm hoping, is that somebody on the Olama team rips out the SIGO, uses this to access the APIs, and now maybe, you know, Olama can get to a point where it can compete with VLLM because it can stay up to date with Llama CPP and all those features. So that's what Ron told me. What are you trying to do here?
Just lower.
Oh, lower this?
Just a little. Yeah, because we already have the console.
Anyway, that's the idea. So I think people from the Olama team have now seen this thing that Ron has built. So there's hope, man. There's hope.
Yes, there is. It's for those who don't get it. This is the Llama CPP no SIGO binding for Go, right? Go
Yes.
binding for Llama CPP without any SIGO.
That's right. That's what this is. So I'm super excited about this. And, you know, my ultimate goal, and I want to try to see if I can prove this by the end of the year. I mean, move you back here for a second. My ultimate goal is this, by the end of the year, finding time to do this. I don't like RAG. I just don't like it. Like, right? Like when you first see RAG, okay, and for everybody who's just sort of just to not know what RAG is, right? You have a model, it can respond, but the idea doesn't have your content. So you take your content, you chunk it up, you create an embedding for it in some embedded space. And then when somebody asks a question, you embed the question, you do a vector search, you find the most relevant chunks to that question, you take that content out of the vector database and you apply it, you add it to your prompt to the LLM and you say, hey, give me answer this question, but based on this content. And you may or may not want it to supplement it with its own content, but let's say you don't, right? And so you do that and you get a relatively good answer. And there's hoops and stuff you have to jump, but it works until it doesn't. When does it stop working, right? Yeah, well, you're going to answer that, Jan. Say something.
Yes, I'm happy to answer, but the answer is not simple and it depends on the case. But I will give you a few of the big case in that answer. There is a few things. One case why it might not answer right is because it retrieves the wrong result. It doesn't retrieve the result. And there's just recently, most of the cases, when you have a large pool of documents from which you can retrieve, the problem is you have to use one of those vector retrievals, right, for efficiency. You cannot look for 1 million documents to figure out which one is important. You have to do some optimization. And those are limited in what it can retrieve. It's tricky to get that right. DeepMind just had a publication on theoretical limits on that. I've been doing that a lot in my work in Google since 2018, and I know they work better than nothing. They work better than what is before, but they still are crappy and can still be improved. But okay, so that is one of the problems: is that you don't retrieve an answer, you get a bad answer. It's hard to blame the large language models for that, right? Now, another aspect to this, some people would like the large language models to just know everything. And that's also tricky. There was a very interesting talk with Andrei Kaparty, like a couple of weeks ago, a videocast, where he assumed, he theorized, or he has this hypothesis that the LLMs, they learn too much by heart. They should learn less, memorize less to force it to generalize more and to learn to reason more. And actually, so I assume he's implying that we should do more RAGs and bring more data and force the large language models to memorize less. And he argues that he estimates with crazy guess that the large language model should have at most 10 billion parameters, or that will be the large language models of the future. I don't know, but I like his reasoning and his hypothesis. I don't think I answered your question. That's not a reason why RAGs don't work.
No, no, no,
RAGs
no.
often
I like everything you said. I agree. I'm gonna add one thing to it. And one thing about me, Jan, is I'm just an average developer. I'm trying to build solutions on top of this for clients and companies. And one of the places where I think RAG starts to break down is you also need to identify, based on the question, whether you should even go do a vector search, right? If I ask you what the weather is like, but my content is about Go programming, why am I going to go do a vector search and pull, most likely, hopefully, it scores poorly and I don't do anything, but I just wasted a whole bunch of time, right? And that starts to get super complicated because now maybe you need another model or you're using the same model. Hey, is this question relevant to, right? And so the systems, when you're trying to finally get efficient, which you have to because context windows cost money, you have to start doing all of that. And so there's no real accuracy around that either, right? And so I like to keep things simple until I can. And so
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
yeah, so when I saw GoMLX, and I have this stuff is way above my pay grade. I do not have the data science education or the math and some of the stuff that's in here. So some of it's over my head. But all I saw was, oh my God, I might be able to now take a small model, train it with my content, even if it's just over a couple of days. I've got an M4 here with 128 gig, right? Like maybe I can do something with that. But my brain said, even if it cost me a little bit of money, I'm saving money in the long run because I'm not doing all the other levels of complexity, database costs, like all that goes away. So then here's the next thing, Jan. Okay. So let's say we pull that off, which today, and if I can get you back on Thursday, let's say we pull that off at some level. And I've got basically the rest of the day and tomorrow to maybe train something. Now take what Ron Evans did with the Zima. Now I can build very targeted model servers in Go that manage this one small model, probably even embed the model into the binary. So you got a single deployment. And then because it's Go, I can put whatever auth I want in front of that, any sort of security in front of that. And I'm deploying this Go service with the embedded model for this one very specific use case. Maybe it's my book or something, right? And start sort of really simplifying what's getting deployed in these sort of AI infrastructure sort of things.
Oh yeah.
That gets super interesting, right? I mean, for me, it does. I don't know.
Yeah, for me also. Now, a few things we have to. The world is moving fast nowadays. So can I do a little, open a big parenthesis here and
Yeah.
replace ML and AI for people who are not familiar what it is.
Yeah.
So, okay, so let me open a parenthesis here and try to explain.
Can he share his screen?
He can
You
share
should
his
be able to share your screen.
Oh, my screen is just with my editor and terminal. So it's nothing
Okay.
interesting. I don't have anything in a slideshow, but let me try to make this really quick. So machine learning is the tools that learn, hey, here's a bunch of examples, generalize this to me. And if I don't know, if I see a coin being thrown, heads and tails, half is heads, half is tail, the machine learning will tell me, oh, I'm predicting 50% heads, 50% tails. That's what machine learning does. People were trying to do translation with machine learning, and they're saying, okay, here's a text in French. What will be the next word in English to translate this? And hence LLMs, making a very large story short, hence LLMs were created for translation. Here is the original text, and like generate one word after another. There's the folks from Google Translate that created the attention paper, transform everything that started the whole thing. And
I see too.
the
Okay.
The
Hold
thing
on a
is,
sec.
ML created LLMs. And ML was a generic thing that do all kinds of, you have examples, and then it generalized examples. If you don't have examples, you're screwed. Then you don't do anything. Now, someone said, okay, how much can we feed in this thing? And then they created these giant models in Google originally, right? All these things started in Google. I was seeing these things being created. They kept increasing the size and feeding more data. And at some point, this generalization of what will be the next word and a few other similar tasks become so sophisticated, it learned to I assume, right? That's my mental model of what's going on. They created so much sophistication and abstraction in these multiple layers of transformers that at some point it started to reason. Now, what you get out of this is models that, some might argue that it doesn't reason, it just generalize, but it quacks like a duck and walks like a duck. Well, to some degree, it reasons. There's LLMs. I will keep referring. I watch too many. I'm retired. I watch too many video posts, but I'll refer to another one from Steven Pinker with Richard Dawkins, if you like those characters. And Steven Pinker was mentioning, hey, the large language models don't reason generically. They can only go to so many levels of recursion. Like if you have to say something, she said, that he said, that he said, that he said, he said. We also are limited in that way. We can always handle so much recursion of those things. Anyway, LLMs, they have some amount of, by, I don't know, emergent behavior, they can generalize, they can almost reason like. And now LLMs are used to reason. We give comments and they reason. It doesn't look like a pattern. You don't need to give a pattern. They already reasoned, or they haven't seen enough patterns of the world in form of text and multimodals and images to reason about new things. So what before in ML you needed to give a bunch of examples to learn something. Now you don't need to give a bunch of examples. You just take the LLM and say, hey, tell me, what do you predict is going to happen here? Here is the inputs. It doesn't need to train anything, right? It's a zero-shot learning, if you will, or you just give the right prompt and it does it for you. Many people argue that, okay, LLMs killed ML because you don't need ML anymore. You don't need to train. The LLM already knows the answer. It's not true because it's not specialized, so much so that the LLMs still play bad chess, right? Any computer, any ML trained chess player will very easily defeat any LLM. Except if you have an agent that the LLM calls, hey, cheats and calls Stockfish and hey, give me, play for me this one. So LLMs do that. So there are many problems in the world, but it's true that many problems in the world, you don't need ML anymore. You just ask LLMs, especially if they are vision or text related, because they are trained on those things. You already have a machine that reached something so well generalized that it almost looks like reasoning. Maybe it is. It all depends on how you define these things. I'm no expert. Now, there are a bunch of applications for which LLMs you cannot run. Maybe it's too expensive to run. They are super slow. Or maybe it's not something you can just, like chess, you cannot, their reasoning don't help. You really have to train something specific for it. A few examples that I've seen recently in using GoMLX, controlling an air conditioner in a building. The LLM doesn't know how the building operates, and what's the effect of increasing some machinery to blow the air, to increase the flow of air, or I don't know, turn on the AC or whatever. But you can train and generate data sets and train a ML model, and quickly you have an ML model that can run and control your building temperature. I'm currently technical advisor for a company that does ML to simulate physical properties of mechanical pieces. So you feed the mechanical pieces a cloud point and you say, hey, is this going to bend? What's the stress on these points? And you can do this by simulation, how it's done today. but it's super expensive. So you use ML as a surrogate model, and it's way cheaper, way more reactive and faster, and gives a good approximation. These things LLMs cannot do. They are not made for millions of points being fed and say, hey, give me the physical properties here. They cannot generalize as much as a normal human could, because that's what the LLMs learned, right? They learn to reason from human text. So I hope this helps give some examples of where ML fits and where AI fits. So ML is somewhere lower in this stack than the LLMs. LLMs use ML to train, but now they are self-sufficient. You often don't need to train anything. There's plenty of applications that just use AI, right? LLMs, and you don't need ML for any of these. There's a bunch of applications that AI doesn't play a role. You need ML. One of my demos is a Hive playing game, and for that LLMs also wouldn't work. I just trained a model using GoMLX. I used the Go backend and compiled it to WebAssembly and distributed the game using an embedded. The model was embedded, and you just open the browser and the game is there, and it beats me. So I thought that was a good point too. It's super simple, but enough to beat me and to have fun. So proof that it can be used like that also.
All right.
Sorry.
No. That's good. That's awesome, because now it makes more like this is one level like below where I'm really trying to work at. But because I want to get rid of, hold on, I got to move my dog. Here we go. Oh, I don't know what happened to him. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here.
So I have a question, Jan. So kind of gathering a little bit of what you talked about there is kind of where the LLM's weak point kind of shows versus, let's say, ML is when you have like an overwhelming amount of data, like understanding a overwhelming amount of data, like millions of control points, like you were saying. Like that's sort of where it comes in.
Yeah, when you have overwhelming amounts of data, generally ML will do better because it can overfit or just generalize to those million points of data. Now, if it's text related, even if you have a million examples, LLMs were trained with a trillion examples. Still, you're better off with an LLM. Anything text, LLMs will do better. Now, there are still cases where maybe you don't, Google would have those cases. You have your budget of time is microseconds to come up with a reply. Then you still train a model, even on text, because you can train really small models, even if they are not as good as the LLM. You can get a response super quick. And we had models like running millions of times per second, like that on text. And it worked really fine. And we often even used LLMs to generate labels to then train these super fast machine learned models.
Cool. Okay.
All right. So let me share my screen for a second. So a couple things, Jan. All right. I have this repo out here. It's github.com Ardan Labs /AI training. And this is where Kevin and I and Florin, who you haven't met, this is what we've been learning. And we're teaching all this material in workshops at all the Go conferences. We've been doing that. I've started 2 new example sets. 13 is the Ron Evans Zima stuff, where like 3 is really interesting because this is basically a chat app using Zima and Llama CPP. So that's kind of cool. You literally should be able to clone this and run example 13. I have a make file where you can just say make example 13 step 3, and it should just work. We'll even download for your architecture and operating system the version of the Llama CPP you need. Put that under Zarf, which is pretty cool. So you should be able to do that. In fact, if I were to go to my terminal here, AI training, and run 13 step 3.
Oh,
So I guess you do have to download that model. So in the make file, I'm using the Ep.58. Also in the make file at the top, I've got the commands to download the model. We're using the one on line 140.
oh, okay. Let me open that here. Let me
Yeah.
open this. Create a new
Yeah, the one on
project
line
here.
40. But this is literally now talking to that model, dude, in Go, using Llama CPP directly.
Oh, wow.
Write a hello world program in Go. Now, I'm not doing all the things you would do with a chat here, history and all that, right? But it's pretty wild. So as long as you download the model.
Just 1 second. Let me see. Sorry, I have too many windows open here.
That's the constant battle.
Constant
Yeah.
battle.
So which model was it again?
On line 140, it's the Quen. I have it. If you can see my screen, it's this one.
Yes. And I can download them from the root of the AI training, right?
Yeah, everything works on the root. So you can download. The one you need for step 3 is on line 140, and then you can run that make command, and you would have chat should just be working with that model.
Let me try here. 1 second.
Here, share your screen, man. Share your screen.
Oh, okay.
How do we? So I can see it. How do we see his screen?
He could share it, and then we have to add the source. So we'll do.
All right. So share your screen.
I'll do the. I can do this.
Share the full screen, maybe. Can I share the full screen?
You should be able to.
Window, yes, entire screen.
Oh, and then we just put that over.
Yeah, like for me, I did a different view, but.
Oh, that's his screen there.
Yeah. So we'll do.
Yeah, we'll just. Can we add a?
Let's do this instead.
Or add a.
A window. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need a. I need the scenes though.
Oh, I'm gonna add this.
Sorry, this was the wrong one.
Show scenes. This. Okay. So we'll do screen share. Let's see. Copy. And then we'll go here, and we will add. Let's see.
That's won't work, but doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, nice.
Oh, okay. And how was the make example 03? Was it that?
Yeah. Example 13 dash step 3.
Oh,
I know. I needed to, because I wanted to show him, but it's okay.
We can overlay that later.
Yeah, we'll do this, and then we'll add
No, now you got to go to overlays.
Overlays, and then show overlay. Show overlays window. Beautiful. Okay, and then we can do guest. We'll add.
It should already be there. You should be able to just. Maybe that's the second one.
No, because it's showing us on top.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't know, bro.
It's showing us sort of on top. There he is.
Okay, I don't have the Llama CPP library. That might be.
It should download it when you run it.
Oh, okay.
Make your window. Make that window bigger so I can see it.
What about I make this window smaller and I share only this window? That often works.
So you downloaded the model, right?
Oh, sorry. Let me. How do I make this? No, it's not. Somehow my resizer here is not working with the sharing of the screen, but that's not.
What operating system are you using?
Linux,
Okay, this is a good
the
test for Linux.
Ubuntu
Oh, okay.
25.10, the new Ubuntu.
All right, Ron works on Linux, so all this should work. But
Yeah, no, but maybe it's working. I did something wrong here.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just copy this.
just use the. Oh yeah, I guess you could do it that way too. Sure. It's almost like it's. What is
Let me
that?
just fix it.
I've never
Do
seen that.
you know? Let's see what's the top error here. Inconsistent vendoring in projects AI training.
What
Smart
version of
basic
Go are you using? Yeah,
25. See?
that should. I've never seen these messages before. I do vendor, but that should have came down when you cloned. I don't know why I would want to
Yes,
ignore it.
a vendor is here.
Yeah, should just be using it. I mean, that shouldn't have been a problem. So
Yes.
use the make command because we also set some variables. In the
Yeah,
make.
I manually set them, but so I did copy and paste them, and that is
Oh,
already there.
okay. This is really weird to me. That's a bummer. That should have just
Yeah,
worked.
so that's when we do online. That's the usual thing. The chances things go wrong when we do them online.
I find this really odd that I don't even know. I don't even know why it's trying to. Even if it's trying to do a Go mod download, whatever.
Can I do this?
I guess.
Mod. Okay, then it doesn't.
Maybe my project is. Maybe I need to do something.
So I set dash mod equals mod. I don't know what it does, but I assume that it ignores the
Maybe
vendors and just download.
maybe I did something wrong here. Hold on. I'm gonna commit. I'm gonna upgrade my depths here. Upgrade. This is weird.
But it worked, right? With dash
Oh,
mod
it's
equals
working now.
Oh,
mod.
there it is. There it is.
Okay, now it's working. I don't know. I just committed and pushed again. So maybe something was just off. Like I did something wrong, but
Do you want me to pull it?
well, let's see if this works first. Say hello, model.
Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? Oh wait, okay. So kill this. Do another git pull, and then use the make command. Just for my own sort of sanity here.
Oh shit! I know what happened. I use Goland, and whenever I create a project, it feels like it has to rewrite GoMod.
Oh.
I don't know. I always bump into this issue. I'm sorry.
That's crazy.
So yes. And this is git pull, and let's do it. Let's see if it.
Still doing a Go mod download, but
Yes, let me remove this because I presumably shouldn't need this.
yeah, now
Okay.
it's working.
Yes.
Okay, I'm glad. That was
Interesting.
so. This little code is now running thanks to Ron. Evan's not sleeping for 2 months. Is a Go program using the Llama CPP APIs directly to do inference chat, right? Without any history or any of that. So step 4, as soon as I can get to it, is going to be a mini Olama, essentially using this code, right?
Yeah.
I'm really curious, and maybe you know the answer to. I'm more curious about how to do this concurrently than anything else, I probably have to load the model a couple times or something. I don't know enough yet. This is where I'm like a blank slate. But once I figure all that out, this is going to be really interesting. But again, you can sort of get the idea that I can leverage step 3, right, to have an embedded model that gets basically executed. So
Yeah, that makes
let me
sense.
show you something else in the project. So if you go back to the project source tree, you will also see under Zarf. Oh, that shouldn't have changed. You will see under Zarf data, and you will see book chunks. And I've got other examples that basically take this chunk of data and create an embedding for each chunk. The original book is in book.txt. So I essentially wrote this book in Go. If you get to line 114, you sort of see the table of contents. And I wrote a little Go program that essentially uses the table of contents to define the chunks of data, right? Because this is the big part about RAG. Like, if you don't do the chunks right, it doesn't even sort of matter. Like, you'll never get any accuracy like you were talking about.
Yeah.
So instead of doing all this, I want to take book.txt. I want to take a small model, train it against book.txt, which isn't a lot of content, and see if I can get this to work in a chat like I already have without having to do the RAG piece and run MongoDB and all that sort of stuff, right?
Okay, so you wanna take out sort of the vector search portion of it, or the
Yeah. So example, is it 6 or 5? Let me see. So example 5.
Do you want to share your?
Yeah, I can share my screen. Huh? Yeah. So, but he's there. So example 5 is where I take the chunks and put it into MongoDB.
But
And then
how do
example
you?
6 is the RAG example.
Let me see if I find
Go,
6. Oh, this is
yeah,
10.
go to like command in the project, go into CMD examples, and you'll find example 5. And if you look at that, this is where we read the chunks and create an embedding. We create an embeddings file, and then we read that in and insert it into a MongoDB Atlas vector database. And then example
Yes.
6 is where we use Olama and do the actual RAG stuff. What I would love is to not have to do example 5 and everything that's in example 6 and just go right to the model, right? It's
Just direct.
just ask the model a question because the model already has the book content in it.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
So, how do you mean the model already has the book content? You mean you further fine tune the model with the book content,
Yeah.
so it knows everything about it,
Yeah.
right?
And the smallest model that we need, because in these example, I don't want the model to supplement the book content because it's my material that I want to share, not somebody else's. So in the prompt for example 6, my guess is somewhere there, I make it very clear on line 125. Oh, see, here I'm saying provide additional information, but when I have this running, in like a production environment, I'm basically saying do not supplement anything from this question. Like, only use the content I'm providing.
And the models don't do supplement,
They
or
don't.
what?
If I say only use, we were to run this and I said only use the information I'm providing in the context to answer the question, it listens. And then I can sleep at night knowing that its answers are in my words. as opposed to somebody else's words, right? Especially if it's teaching material.
Yes.
So that
Yes.
works. Like it does work if I'm very explicit about that. And I have this running actually. If you open up a browser window and go to ardanlabs.ai.
Oh, but yeah.
Yeah. You'll see, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the chat app. And you can even play Connect 4. That's a fun game. But yeah, if you go to that, see where it says Go Notebook, bring down 3 things. Yeah, so anything that you ask here, I don't know if I have CGO in the notebook, but ask it like how to declare a variable, which is a really, right? It will only take content from the book. Is it not running? Of course. Why would it run?
Sorry.
No, it's not you, dude. Like we run this on Google. See, I use the Google Cloud for this.
I used it a week or two.
And maybe you just had to like wake up. Hold on a second. Now you got me going there. That should just work, bro.
It should.
Go Notebook, 3 neighbors. How do you? Now I got to look at this later. A variable in Go. How do you declare a variable in Go? Okay, it just came back. Ask it that question now. How do you declare? Yeah, how do you declare a variable in Go? Let me move this. Okay, that is exactly from my book. This is how I teach variable declarations. So it didn't come from the LLM itself, right? And so for me on this particular situation, the smaller the model, the better, especially if it didn't have any Go knowledge at all, right?
Yes.
And then train that with the content in the book. This is beautiful because I can definitely ask a model, is this a question about Go? Which is sort of, but even if I don't, it could say I don't, right? The thing is, I don't even have to say, is this a question about Go? Like the model will just,
yeah, it
has bare minimum in it. And so it's a beautiful thing for me. Like this is, as an application developer working with lots of clients, this is what I'm running into all the time, Jan, right? Very specialized, even small content that they want their internal organization to have access to, and they don't want the organization to have more than this content. And you're jumping through hoops to minimize the hallucination / leakage of something that isn't yours.
Yes.
So
that's the holy grail, right? Everyone is trying to get this. Every company wants their database, their inner chat, right, working exactly what you want to assume, right?
exactly. So I think GoMLX could, between GoMLX and the Zima, gives me the answer. Like this is what I want to prove over the next 3 months.
Okay.
It's kind of.
So
I'm going to disappoint you. Are you ready?
you're not going to disappoint me because you're going to show me how to use GoMLX, at least the code I need to take a small model and train it on that notebook.
Yeah, let me say this. This is text.
This is what?
This is text, right? You are trying to make a model to reason about text or to teach text to another model.
Yeah.
And when it's text, it's a large language models. They're trained with trillions of things. So there's no escape. Now, large language models is a machine learned model. So presumably GoMLX could be used to fine tune it. And it has been used to fine tune it, but not the modern large language models because they are full of tricks, including fancy quantization. Each one is trained a different way. Not all of them are yet supported. They could be, and I've been working with this Night Analytics, a company I also cooperate with them. And we've done some of that for a few models, like the T5 LLM. And it can be fine-tuned. I tried it a little bit, but just a little bit. The other aspect is even if you can, there's a whole expertise in fine tuning because these models are really this is tons of black magic in fine tuning these things. How because you don't want to fine tune too much to make things forget, but you want to make it enough that it's reflective and it actually learns it. I'm no expert in this. I know it can be done, but it's tricky. Large language models are pretty advanced ML, if you will, and
But can
and
I
one
start with a
can
small Can I instead of a large language model? Aren't there small language models out there?
you can do small classifiers, for instance. I have an example with IMDb sentiment analysis. Uh, Without a large language model, it trains, it works much better than random, but it's way behind a large language model that was trained with the whole corpus of the world and actually, and through that generalized to reasoning and created these
Hmm.
fancy abstractions. So it can be done, and you can learn much smaller models, just a bag of words, if you will, that is super fast, will give you a reply in microseconds, can even bring it down to nanoseconds if you want. But it will be like by far not as good as large language model. It will not understand. It will just find keywords that correlates with things and say, okay, that must be that. Do you understand? And that was the magic that LLM brought to the table. And there is no competing. There is no. It's not worth training if you have the power, and I assume you have. You don't have a million users hitting you at the same time that you need something super fast. So then you want a large language model. And if you want a large language model not fine-tuned, will still be way better than a trained from scratch small model. But way better. It's shown everywhere. Once a large language model showed up, it replaced everything text related in
So
all applications.
essentially, what you're telling me is I'd have to get this to work because you need all the generality around the reasoning for the model, which only comes in a large language model. I really have to fine tune a large language model like a GPT OSS or something. So,
Well, yes, you can do that, and in some cases it works, but fine tuning can be expensive, tricky, as far as my knowledge goes when I was in Google, right? Because I used to consult internally in Google for people doing like this, and I was always the concern the cost. Not only money, but also the cost in, you have to have someone spending months on that until it gets it right. There has been so much development in AI these days that I bet someone already did a tool that you just install it and fine tune it and you get the model, spit the model out. Because that's such a popular use case. So someone already pre-made it for you. In GoMLX, you could try to get this model. You can convert this model to GoMLX either by hand or by. I created a Onyx to GoMLX converter. I'm starting to think about a GGUF converter also in both directions actually. But I haven't done this yet. It is work on top of it, if you will. And then you have each model has their own tricks to fine tune depending on how they were trained. And they have all these newest fancy tricks, 4 bits quantization. Just came, I mean, it's been already out for a while, but I don't support it yet. It's in my to do list. But large language models is a bit. So I'm just saying that as far as I know, except if someone already created tooling, creating tooling for that, fine tuning is complicated. And I wish someone would create a tool, fine tune LLMs on top of GoMLX. I'd be super happy. But it's yet another big project. Can be done. It certainly can be done, but not trivial. But I think you can get a lot by just prompt engineering and RAG. I'm sorry to say. I know you
no,
didn't want to.
I hear you. I'm a bit bummed out. We're not there yet. I'm ahead of the where I want to be. So then do me a favor. Like let me share my screen for a second. This one. Okay. So when I go back to GoMLX here, these are all these sort of examples that you've sort of put together. in the repo. So the one that's the couple here that seems super interesting to me is the dog and cat classifier demo. That's kind of interesting. The IMDb movie review demo. These are things that are sort of interesting to me, right? They seem like practical things I might want to do. The other stuff feels very scientific stuff, so I'm not sure what goes on there.
Yes. But now, you as a normal user, you want the normal things, which are images and text. But the normal things, which is the larger use case, right? That's what LLMs did, and it killed everything else. Like even the dogs and cats, I'm showing how it can be done, and it can be done. But nowadays, to decide if it's a dog or cat, I would simply use a multimodal LLM
Huh.
and say, hey, tell me, is it a dog or cat? And it will do much better than this. Again, because it was trained on trillions of examples. Now, the large language models and the visual models, they haven't been trained on something specific. Like, for instance, if I want to create I have microscopic images of a blood and I want to count the number of red cells. Maybe I'll train my own, CNN model or VIT model, whatever is the state of the art these days on image modeling, to count red blood cells in a sample of blood. The large language models, really the big applications, they took over. Specific applications, they don't work. Or like a game, if I want to do a game AI, probably I'll do a machine learning model with reinforcement learning, right? Until they find out a new way to do robots and things like that.
Okay. I was really hoping I could leverage something in here to sort of build prepackaged Go apps that could do these really specific.
You can, it's just it will be so bad in comparison to large language. But I can say that I'm selling GoMLX. But the truth is, that's AI. AI does ate lots of the machine learning lunch, and I think it's good. It should. AI is a very specialized ML specific for this case, and it's awesome. I'm super excited about it. But it doesn't solve many of these edge cases. That ML still is the tool to use. ML is also the tool to use and fine-tune large language models. It's just that large language models are not simple, right? There's tons of science in that, and even fine-tuning them is an endeavor in itself. As far as I know, I haven't seen any tool to make it easy. I'm sure someone must be doing that. Because it makes sense. So there must be tools to do that. And someone could create such a tool using GoMLX. But I don't know of anyone. I know Night Analytics has GoMLX as a backend to generate embeddings for some of their models. But that's as far as I go. They are not automatically fine-tuning it, as far as I know.
All right. So tell me then, because we got another hour here, and I want people on the show to sort of get a sense of what you could do with GoMLX practically, and maybe have you write some code here. So what are you most excited about with GoMLX related to maybe some of these examples that you think an average developer like me might be able to one day maybe leverage somewhere?
Let's start simple. If you're a student of computer science these days, you want to learn machine learning. And GoMLX is a perfect, super good platform to learn machine learning. You can start from scratch. All the concepts are there. And I wrote it because always thought Python was convoluted to learn new concepts, implement a paper. If you read a paper on ML, that, oh, this sounds super cool. I've been implementing papers left and right, and it's always, even the most complex concepts came out super easy to implement in GoMLX. So let me say that for researchers and students alike, GoMLX is a great way to learn ML and experiment with ML. All these examples I wrote because I was having fun with them. For instance, flow matching is a study notebook, was a recent better way to do generative imaging. somewhere in the middle, you'll see flow matching. It's a paper from Meta from last year. And a little bit of the code is there. I give an introduction based on their example and how to create. And basically, flow matching is about transforming one distribution in another. So you want to transform those plots, anyway, from some random plots, some random points in a normal distribution to some form. Or in the end, it generates images. That's the summary of it. And then better than the stable diffusion or simpler. And there are plenty of examples. So that was an example I created in a few days. And just reading the paper and re-implementing GoMLX, it's a perfect way to learn these things.
All right. So maybe over the next hour, we could walk through the flow matching stuff. Because just because we're here and Kevin and I have like zero background in any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Even what you're saying is like interesting. But if I were to like walk through the code in this demo, I would have like no clue what we're doing or why. So maybe we could try to run this thing and see what it does.
Yes, it will run. You'll have to install the XLA if you want. And it will take days training, probably without a GPU. Well, I mean, I have a 5090 and I left these things training for 3-4 days until it was generating flowers. If you get the notebook, go to the bottom, you'll see some of the results of that, of what it was generating after with a small data
Oh,
set.
the bottom of this document. Hold on.
Go to the keep scrolling to the bottom. This is just a demo. It's a small concept how it shifts one distribution, randomness in the left towards 2 half moons. But now go to the bottom. And these are the training data set. It's just flowers, the Oxford flowers data set, 102 different types of flowers and samples of them, random samples. This is just a random sample of the flowers it used to train. A few of the things that typically happen, you have to do this fast. So we put an in-memory data set, parallelize and everything. And this is kind of what you see now. Actually, if you scroll a little bit below, that's what it does. That image that you see is from being noise to slowly becoming a flower. That's what the model do. That's how it's or similar to that. I don't know what they're actually using behind the Nano Banana or Mid Journey and these things, but it's this type of process. They come out of randomness and slowly become something based on the distributions of things you have done before. And that's the result.
I had
of the
read
model.
some stuff on this imaging where they just basically diffuse these images and somehow because of the diffusing, then when you say give me this, they're somehow able to take that noise and put it back.
Yes, that's
was
exactly
wild.
it. And
Strange.
flow matching is a better and simpler way of doing that. So I do a little bit of an introduction of the math behind it, point to the paper, and the code is there, right? I link the code of the model in there. And it's not super complicated, which is nice. It really, really works like magic. Now, I did with a small data set, so with my little GPU here, it took me a few days. To really train these things, you have to have serious hardware, right, and data centers. But it's enough to play around, right? To generate things that kind of reminds a little bit hallucinated flowers. But it's fun enough to experiment and to understand what's going on. So it's very good for education.
Nice.
Oh, I should advertise. I also, during the process of building GoMLX, I also built this GoNB, which is a notebook for Go. So it makes these things easier. It's good for demos.
Where do I see that?
GoNB, it
Go
must be
M.
linked somewhere. It's in my personal account, but GoNB. So it's github.com/Jan Pfeiffer/GoNB. I think if you search GoNB, N like in nose.
Like NB, like notebook. NB.
Oh,
Yes.
go. Oh, NB. Notebook.
and the notebook. So without the M.
Yeah, without the M, of course.
There it is. Yeah.
Oh, I'm happy. I'm the first one in Google for that.
Oh, nice, dude.
So
that's cool.
before GoMLX, because many of the examples would be in a notebook, and I thought it was super nice to create demos. When I'm really training big programs, I stop using it. But to create demos, to test things and things like that, I often use it. So it use an LSP to autocomplete. You can, for instance, it fetches a page in Wikipedia and display on the fly. It has animations. The Python version has way more things, but it has enough to cover 95% of the use case, so it's good enough plots and everything.
Dude, you've been busy, man.
And yes, I'm retired, so I have fun with this thing.
So this is cool too, because you could just install it. You could build it locally. I don't need Docker, right?
No, you don't need it. I mean, it has a Docker. I built a Docker there, and you can just install it. If you have a Jupyter, right? And it will install.
I'm going to have to play with this. I want to see this thing run. These are the things I love showing off at the workshops because it's just tools that people can use in Go and not have to do anything in Python, right?
Yes, I liked it exactly for demos and things like that. It's not many people use it, so you'll have bugs, but it's well supported. If you open a bug, I tend to reply to everything and follow up.
All right, so let's try this for a second. Hold on. So I'm going to, let's see here. This is under, I've been doing Go for a long time, so I kind of still keep my Go path. Sort of structure here.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so by the way, I'm just curious as we move on. Are you using any AI coding agents to sort of supplement your work?
Yes, I use a lot in GoLand, right? So I pay the subscription for the AI. I think it's very much worth it. It's by no means perfect. Anything complicated, it fails miserably. But it's like a more fancy regular regasp. You want to replace or change the code or refactor. I tell it, and it refactors or create tasks. So there are many tasks, and also the autocomplete. Even though it cannot create things, it quickly gets the gist of it, and the autocomplete, the new autocompletes are awesome. And so I'm using it all day long. I keep trying to imagine how much percentage-wise I am more productive, right? And if I were to guess, I'm at least 40% more productive, which is scary, right? Because if engineers are 40% more productive, that means 40% less jobs, right? Big companies.
It's actually quite the opposite, Jan, because everybody's getting a little bit more productive. I'm seeing companies now investing more in more feature, more product, getting it done faster. I have not seen a slowdown. I've seen quite the opposite so far.
Maybe there's a pent-up demand that we just didn't have enough people anyway, so it can absorb this increased productivity. But I'm using it a lot. I almost can't work without it anymore.
Yeah, I'm using the AMP product from SourceGraph. That's what you saw sort of here.
I looked at your podcast and I saw that 2 months ago. I think you had.
Yeah, I had what's his name on
Thorsten.
Dude, this tool I think is the best out of everything that's out there. And
so it's worth.
It is. JetBrains is behind actually.
And let me ask you this: how much you end up paying per month or per year? Because it has this open-ended cost, right? You mentioned in your talk. How much do you coding usually?
So I I haven't been using a lot. I'm always constantly starting a new context window. I think in the last 3, now you're coding more than I am, but I think I've used maybe 15, $20 in the last few months. That being
Oh, that's
said, I don't think it's that expensive to use. As long as you're cleaning your context windows properly and not paying
yeah.
for tokens you don't need, I think the small cost is worth the level of power you're getting out of it. And now they have the CLI tooling, but what they just introduced for anybody really, but I think they were targeting students, is access to their full product under a free tier where you're willing to see an ad in this sort of window space here. So you would see an ad from companies that they're like they love and they're sort of tied to as well. So if you're willing to see some ads, it ain't going to cost you nothing. Now, that being said, the thing that Florin would tell you if he was on the show is that they're going to basically be leveraging what you're putting in there as part of the free too.
Yeah, they're getting your data.
But if you pay
Yes.
for it, it's all private, but they maintain a history and you can see stuff you've done. I think, and I have an extra coupon code for you anyway. I get you another $10. So I think if you switch over
I'll
to
give
it,
it
you won't use anything else.
Oh, nice. Huh? It can always be better. I'm always, and I know these things are going to get better and cheaper over time, right? We don't need to fret too much about it. Next year it will be cheaper. These things, they're following even more, even cheaper. Um,
You should try it, and I'll send you a coupon code, and you'll
oh,
have
thank
like
you.
more
I
than enough
will
money to play with
look
it.
forward to it.
And then use their. They have the VS Code. I think they have JetBrains integration. They have a CLI tool. Dude, it's now Kevin uses.
Cursor.
He likes Cursor, but he does a lot of front end stuff. And the Claude code too is, I think, really good for the front end
Claude
dev.
code. I haven't tried Claude, but I use their model through Cursor to do a lot of the stuff. But I just like the UI aspect of Cursor. I like that visual in the IDE sort
Okay.
of.
Yeah, he
Being
likes
able
that
to see
VS Code IDE thing. And then we had Lovable on recently too, which was really
Yeah, that
fun.
was like a whole
But
nother.
that's all vibe coding front ends, man.
Yeah.
That's all. But they got really
It's,
good GitHub integration, so it's kind of like I'm not a front end dev, so like a Lovable for me
Yeah, it
is
wouldn't.
perfect for me
Yeah.
because I'm just not a front end dev and I don't want to deal with it. But we just had a guide, a client using Cursor code for half an hour and had a 5,000 line commit, single commit, because he spent a half an hour letting Cursor write this front end for him. It was insane, dude. I'm like, who's gonna review that?
A lot of testing.
the AI, right?
No, forget that. Like, there becomes a point where I'm like, fine, like you're trying to write a demo real quick for a conference and it's all good, but somebody's gonna see that and they're gonna say, I want it, and now you just took your demo code and turned it into product, right? And I don't know if you can maintain, manage, and debug that code base. So, dude, I get super nervous at my age with some of it, functions
Yeah,
at
I
a time,
agree.
but
Maintenance, one spends more time in maintenance usually than in coding stuff, right? So, yeah,
for sure.
in the
Okay, I just
end,
cloned this. So, oh, dude, look, your linter's not happy. My linter's not happy with line 82 here, bro.
yes, I don't know. I haven't been using the linter a lot. I'm sorry, and I use a lot of naked returns because I didn't know better. So please don't.
It's all good, man.
Um,
I'm just busting your chops. Okay, how do I run this thing now that I've cloned it? I want to
so
what
you have to install it, right? And you really run in the notebook. I don't know what's the state of VS Code. I don't use VS Code so much, but some people reported it works. So I don't know.
so
Uh,
well, are you saying, I mean, can I just do
Go run dot
I
dash
need some
install.
parameters.
Just
Oh,
install.
you do have to do an install. I see. What is it going to install? Where is it going to install it?
And there is a default directory for Jupyter, and it will install there.
I see. It
Oh
told
yeah,
me
there
where
you
it
go.
is. Okay, that's fair. So now what? That's just
Now Good question. Do you have a Jupyter server that you can run and then
Oh,
open
you
your
need a
browser?
Jupyter server to run. Okay, can I download
That
that from Brew or something?
I use pip install.
Oh, it's a Python thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a Python.
no, that's
Yes.
fair. I do have a virtual environment that I set up on my root. So
Can you activate it and
if I do
then
uv pip install, what is it called? Just Jupyter?
don't you activate your virtual environment first?
It's I just use I'm using UV to activate it, so UV will
Oh,
find it.
okay.
This
I don't
UV
know.
tool is really cool. So I create the virtual environments in all my projects, but just so I don't pollute my machine, I create one in here at the root in my shell script if it's not there. So what do I have to do?
Jupyter with a Y.
Oh,
There's also a VS Code extension.
GUPTY. Oh, Y.
YTER.
And what did you say?
There's a VS Code extension.
Well, let's just do it this way for a second. I would still probably need this, right?
I think so.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that's in my virtual environment now.
Looks
So now what's next?
Now you run the Jupyter, and it will give you an address, a URL you can open, and then you have your Jupyter.
Okay, how do I run Jupyter?
Let me get. Oh, I have this all scripted out.
Ask AMP.
Hmm?
Ask AMP.
Yeah, I can ask it.
Like command.
This is why I like make files, because I can put them on all these types of repos and just tell people run these commands.
Okay, you might need to install Jupyter Lab.
Jupyter, no.
I might have to install what?
Jupyter dash lab, I think. Let me see here if I find.
To start the server without opening a browser, Jupyter notebook. One of these. Try that. That's not it.
Well, he thinks I have to install something else too. But let's try that. Where was that?
Jupyter.
UV Jupyter notebook. Oh, is it UV run?
Jupyter Lab altogether.
All right, hold on.
Oh, something happened there. Oh, there it is.
That ran that, but hold on. He's saying I need to install one more thing. Hold on.
Yes, if you can Control C this and try installing Jupyter Lab.
Pip install Jupyter dash lab.
Pip install Jupyter Lab altogether.
Altogether, okay.
Lab, L-I-B.
Yes, I think Jupyter would work also, but just in case, Jupyter Lab. And now just run Jupyter Lab. And it seems to be Jupyter dash lab. Yeah, Jupyter dash lab.
And you require Jupyter dash lab.
Let me see.
Can it expand? Oh, sorry. The binary is Jupyter Lab. The pip install is Jupyter Lab.
Here it is. Jupyter Lab. No, it was not a dash. We did this. So that worked before. Got it installed. But you run the lab.
And then you just do it with a space like this.
Oh, okay, hold on. Run Jupyter Lab. All right, we got it.
There you go.
It was just run. It was run with the space.
Oh, okay, perfect. But you got it. I see the icon of the kernel. You see GoMB is installed there.
Go in here? Or no, here. Oh.
Actually, You checked out you checked out, right? The code. You could just open the tutorial. It's a great demo of everything, and then we can play from there. You can change it, and so in the left you see the directories there. If you navigate to the Go and Be cloned repository.
Okay, wait, hold a second. Wait a second. I'm moving too fast here. Hold on a second. 1 second. Where did that run again? How did it know? Hold on, let me just do this again. So this, select kernel.
You can select if you want a new one, you can select there. I would suggest you open the tutorial and edit it. It's easier to start from the tutorial.
But it found this because when we did the install in that Jupyter notebook, it found your kernel in there.
Yes, exactly. It's a standard directory, right, under your local application thing. That's where you register all the kernels. Now, I would suggest you open in the Jupyter Lab UI, right page. There, you can, this doesn't matter, you can cancel this because, or just select one. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Now, in the file there, if you can navigate to where you checked out, where you cloned Go and Be.
Oh, yeah, your Go or the CDARN.
Where can I do that?
Probably code, right?
Cool.
Where? Oh, code.
Yep. And then
yeah,
wherever.
No, but that's off the root. It's gonna be under oh yeah, code, go. Okay, sorry, I got confused with what I was looking at. Here. And then where do you want me to go?
Examples.
Tutorial.
And then tutorial.
There it is.
Oh.
So now it probably automatic figure out that this is a Go and Be. Yes, Go and Be is there, so you can run hello world.
How do I run each individual thing?
Control
I've never used a
Enter.
notebook.
Oh, okay. So click on the main there. Just click on that box. That's an editor. So wherever it's called is an editor.
Mm-hmm.
And you can Control Enter executes it. If you played with the Golang playground, it's similar.
Oh, command. Oh, that just ran it. I've seen these notebooks, but I've never played with them, and I've always thought they were cool for some of this stuff because it's like a REPL, right? In a sense, it just.
In school,
Yeah.
I used the Python one for intro to ML and data mining.
Yes. Now there is some magic in Go and Be, and I'm going to explain since you mentioned REPL. Because Python is done REPL because you keep it alive, it's interpreted. Go is compiled, and there are a few REPLs in Go, but they don't mix with C goals and other things that I needed. So what I did instead is that I save everything you type in each cell, and whenever you execute a cell, I recompile and execute on the fly. So every cell you execute, it recompiles everything. And that works because Go compilation is so fast. So it feels like a REPL, even though it's not. But there is a few changes in mentality on that because it doesn't keep alive any variables, right? So each cell you execute, the variable from the previous is not there. The definition of it is, but not the value. But there are workarounds. It doesn't really matter so much. It works super nice.
So this all ran already. Everything here ran.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can clean everything and tell it to run everything again if you want. You can change anything you want.
Why did it auto-magically run everything when I opened it up? That was weird.
Oh no, it didn't run. It just saves the results because the idea is that the notebook is a kind of documentation, so the output is
it saved it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, got it gets written
So
back to this IPYNB file. Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm learning. Yeah. Okay.
And that is super good for data analysts, right? What ML is for, because we are often running data and analysis and models, and you want the results to be displayed just next to where the code is. So it's super awesome to do reports and things like that.
I gotta add this to the training.
Yeah, it's very handy
Okay,
when it comes to that.
I'm gonna
kind of thing.
add this to the training. So hold on. I'm not gonna do it right now while I'm on here, but I gotta remember everything that I did. So we installed this package, and then I installed the Jupyter and the Jupyter Lab. Right. We'll
If
do
you
it on
install
your
Jupyter
machine.
Lab,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
will pull the Jupyter. So just Jupyter Lab is enough.
Oh, just Jupyter
Just
Lab
Jupyter
is
Lab.
enough. So this was just enough.
That.
Yes, this was enough because it would have pulled the Jupyter.
I just don't want to lose this, so I'm just gonna put it. Just gonna put it here for a minute so I don't lose it. So I had to do that, and then we ran it like this, and we had to do a go install for this project,
For
basically.
the GoMB, yes.
Yeah.
You don't even need to install it, right? You don't need to clone it. You can just run it straight from,
Yeah, just install it. So it goes in the bin folder.
or you just go run. I think you will need the at latest. No?
Oh yeah. I'll need a latest. Hold on. I'm sure I'm doing it. So I don't remember off the top of my head, but you're right. I think you got to do at latest. Something like that. I'm just leaving myself notes when we're done.
Yes, yes.
And then this will run the. Yeah. Okay. I just want to lose this. Plus, some people may not have the Python stuffs. Well, with this project, we set you up with the Python because you're supposed to run this.
Yeah.
So you'll already have a local vent. So I get to test it when he's, because I'm going to do it inside this virtual environment anyway. Okay, this is perfect. Okay.
You know, there is an alternative to Jupyter. In Go, someone was coding it just a few months ago. I forgot the name of the project, but you might find it. That is looking super good, and I think it was supporting Go and B as well. So there will be a non-Python version.
Oh my God, you have a fine example too to run.
Yes, and if everything is installed in your box, it will open a window.
That's
But
crazy.
Fine
but
was
I
the
don't think
UI,
one
right?
should do it. To tell you the truth, it's just a proof of concept. Um, Now, what I did is widgets. So this Go and B kernel talks to your local program and talks to your front-end program and dynamically installs some WebAssembly to control widgets. And that was super, it required some JavaScript magic to get it to work, but it works. It's fun. It was a fun little project.
Yeah, I might steal these examples and put them in the AI repo so people have them when they run this thing.
Oh, WASM.
Hmm?
WASM.
No, I know. I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, my brain is shutting down very quickly.
Yeah, I don't really know if this is useful or not. I know displaying HTML, displaying plots,
But I think this
displaying
is really
results.
interesting because sometimes you're just hacking or something and you want to do something.
Exactly.
And having it,
Creating
even for
SVGs.
documentation, it gets interesting.
Exactly. Take a look. Try to run the progress bar example. It's super sweet that it works.
Which one is that? Oh, in
Is
here?
in the tutorial there is a progress bar example above. You passed it. Above the fractal. Yes, this one. Progress bar.
Oh, I see it. I see it. I see it. I
Oh,
see it.
okay.
Just
I'm
click
just-
on it and Control Enter.
Actually,
You
that's
see
pretty
it's
cool.
20 steps per second because I do a time sleep 40 milliseconds, right? So 25 steps per second. But you could put anything. You can
I didn't even
animate your
know,
code.
That's nice for your terminal stuff.
dude, I didn't even know this package existed. That's pretty wild.
Oh, I use it in GoMLX also. It's super neat.
See, this would almost, yeah, this is interesting.
That's good for this.
No, now I got this in my head. I don't have anything that we know like you'd have to know exactly how many steps, right? So when you'd have to know, like, you have a defined number of things you have to do, as opposed to how long
Yes.
something's taking. But
Or you do
still,
like Microsoft and buff, right? You say, oh, 2% of your installation, and it never moves, and then suddenly it's 90%. You
yeah,
can
yeah, yeah,
also
yeah,
use
yeah.
Just makes you
Microsoft.
feel better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We could do that, right? If I equals 2 for like
Yes.
here's your
So you got
Microsoft experience.
your Windows installer right
That's
there.
perfect. That's good.
But I just wrote Go in a Jupyter notebook, like a Jupyter notebook, bro.
Yeah, that was so weird. Like seeing that is cool though.
Oh, I am for sure. When I show this to Florin, he's going to lose his mind.
It's probably good for just stepping through your code too in smaller sections and then having it all.
I might add this tutorial file as the example folder with instruct, right? And then just get you to
Now,
pre-install it. This is
something
cool,
that
man.
I found it super cool also, independent of the GoMLX. I developed it for GoMLX, but it's a separate thing. Now, something that is very handy if you're doing this, the programs become large, right? And a large program you don't want here. But I often use this to demo my programs. And 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 so I co-develop the program in my IDE, and I do an import here. And in the Go there, you can have a go.mod file with a replace directive that pulls the file I'm editing live in my IDE, right? So I'm editing the code there, but then I run the front end of my program, the results there. So I interactively
You have like an
flip between.
integration between this. Oh.
Yes, so you can code on an IDE, and that is pulling the package from the IDE, right? Just with the go mod replace directive, so it immediately is seeing everything you are typing the other side,
Oh.
and that
Really?
works super nicely. I do this all the time.
But how do you? So is that like some plugin integration on the JetBrains?
Oh no, so if you do.
Oh, because you're opening up this tutorial file.
Yes, you open a notebook already with stuff in it, right? You can create a new one, but
So like this is the file that we're playing
this
with.
is the This is their yes. Oh, you are in Visual Studio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it open? Maybe it already opens GoNB as well. Maybe you could try to open this progress bar and see if it runs there. Can you click on it? Can you Control Enter there?
No.
Uh,
No, but I'm
Or
looking
is
at
it,
it from a markdown. Like it kind of brought it up as a markdown.
hit
it has a Run
hit
Now
the three
Oh
button? I
wait, there's a
know.
play button
Oh,
here.
there you go. There it is.
Choose the kernel.
Oh, you have to select your kernel there. So that might be where you have to
Oh,
select Go and B.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's asking you to do Jupyter. That's like what I did, but
But I want to
Jupyter.
use the Go. I want to use the Go one, right?
I wonder if you install the Jupyter, it will pull all the kernels installed in Jupyter. I don't know. I really haven't used it, but I know people have used it. So
See what happens.
create or open a Jupyter notebook. Oh, well, we have one there. Jupyter
Jupyter kernel,
Go and B.
GoNB.
Beautiful.
There you go. With the Windows install effect.
So basically, I can even work these notebooks in my Dunjack. Now, if I come back here, I may have to refresh this, but
Yes, you may
There's
have
a
to close
is
it
that a
and open
refresh
again.
or restart?
Restart the kernel will just restart the kernel, not refresh the notebook. I think you have to close and
Oh,
open.
yeah. Okay. I'm remembering a little bit.
now it says Jack.
Oh.
But it would be nice if there was a way to anyway. That's kind of cool. But I don't necessarily need to run this anymore, right?
Do it in the
I
ID.
can do it here.
You can do this is doing the exact same thing as in the browser, right? It's just embedding it in the middle of VS Code, but it's the exact same thing.
Oh man. Right, but
With
not
a different
everybody's going to run VS Code, so you want to be able to run the browser wherever I'm running
Yeah,
it.
it's the same.
But then you can walk through and show how to add it to your sort of dev environment here. Wow. This is really powerful. This is cool.
I remember using it.
But you see this gives you like a link to sort of share it now.
Well, that takes you to the notebook. Because you were in the lab.
Oh, right. But it's, yeah.
The export to HTML function it has worked really well. So, for instance, if you do training material or educational material with that, or just a report for your boss, then you just convert this to HTML and give a final result, and it's non-editable anymore. And for instance, there are neat things like displaying Markdown. You can generate Markdown with Go and then display it. I showed this example with math, right? This is Go code is generating the math and it's displayed there.
This is cool. My brain is running at 1,000 miles an hour and how to add this to the training, but I think it's worth adding for sure.
Oh yes, and this is great for demoing interactions with LLMs
Like the agent
and
stuff,
stuff.
the
Right?
agent and the tool calling, creating the agent, doing the tool call.
I want to put this under example 14, right? Get a Jupyter notebook that lets you execute Go thanks to GoMLX. And walk through all the stuff that we just,
It's changed.
So it often wants to save. It constantly, yeah.
Yeah, so it identified that I made changes over here.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool.
That's interesting. And then when you close it and reopen it.
No, I just hit save.
Oh, and that popped up.
And that was an override, but it put it back.
Oh, okay. So the override.
If I did save and said revert, it would go back. So it's just like revert, and it goes back to what I saved on the other side instead of what I hear. So it detected as soon as I tried to save this, it detected a change. That's cool. Okay, my brain's like exploding now. So my day is to get this into example 14. But I'm not going to be able to do what I want.
No, I'm so sorry about the GoMLX thing.
Well, you're retired now, man. Make it happen.
There's so many things to make happen. One of my next steps in GoMLX is actually trying to connect the Llama CPP backend as an alternative backend for GoMLX. GoMLX have two backends right now. It either runs with Google's XLA, which is an accelerator just-in-time compiler of these programs, or as a pure Go, which is much slower, but it's very portable, right? It runs everywhere, including WebAssembly. But Llama CPP is super fast and super portable as well. So I would like to have GoMLX use Llama CPP to run and train models. I don't know.
Well, now you can with what Ron did, which I should like.
Yes,
you got it running already on your machine.
Yeah, it's not that simple. Llama CPP is optimized for inference. So you have the model, you do inference with it. Training has some different aspects, especially handling reuse of buffers and things like that. I don't know how it handles that. There is some open question, but I would love to get that. I think I love Llama CPP, what they are doing. And what Ron did for Go made it super easy. So it's one of my next big to-dos in Go.
Ron is Ron is once again got somebody else on the planet busy with something.
Yeah, he's very active. And if you want to learn machine learning, sorry, not for text, you just use large language models. But if you ever want to use machine learning for other things, for any type of controller and games, then let's talk. I can help you. Or just go for GoMLX and there's a tutorial there.
Okay, so this is cool. All right, so Jan, I think we're good at this point. I'm gonna integrate all this Go Notebook stuff into the training. I want to share this with people, and it gives me a chance to introduce this stuff for people that are needing real data science-y stuff, which I don't. I need large language models, and maybe one day I'll be able to get rid of RAG the way I want to get rid of it, but not today.
Yes, I think it's not today, but one day maybe. Actually, no, I think RAG will be going to be there for a while, but we'll see.
We'll see.
But it will work better. I also think that it will work much better.
All right, dude. I really appreciate all your time today and sharing all this stuff. I've got work to do today to figure out how to best integrate that for students, but I'm super excited to show this off at the next workshop. I think people are going to get blown away when they see they can do a Jupyter notebook and there's Go inside of it, not just Python. I know I'm already like super excited about that. So
Yes, it's neat. It's very handy. Cool. I'm very happy about that.
yeah, man. Stay retired so you keep working on this stuff.
Let's see what's the next project. But thank you very much for the chat. It was super interesting, and thanks for your work also. We love it. We love that Go is always so to see the Go community growing and getting educated, right?
Yeah,
This is awesome.
appreciate it. All right, dude. We'll talk. Thank you.
See you. Bye, Kevin.
Bye.
Okay, so I think even though we still got like 20 minutes here, I think the best thing is to finish now. I'm going to incorporate all of this stuff into an example 14 today from the install and all of that. Luckily, we already have you do Python, so the virtual environment's there. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of setting it all up. I might even just auto magically install it all. Who cares, really, right?
Just install it with everything.
Just install it
With
with
the
everything.
Python side.
Yeah. And then show how you can just sort of bring it up with a make command. It's super, super cool. So I'll work all that out. When I show Florin this, he's gonna freak anyway. So so bummer I can't use GoMLX the way I wanted to, but we got this out of it, which we never would have gotten. So that's
I think
super
this
exciting.
is super powerful. Just to visualize and step through code.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Appreciate it. We're going to end a little early, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do on Thursday.
Yep.
But we'll figure that out. All right. Thanks, everybody.